Blaha here. Just thought I would get out, get my second walk in. Got about an hour and 10 minutes done on the first one. Trying to get most of this done fasted today since it's a non-training day. So again, yesterday we did good though. It was a leg day. We ended up doing 2.5 hours total. So we'll see what we get today. It looks like I'm gonna have a pretty open schedule with plenty of free time between different work projects. So I may end up doing quite a bit of cardio today. But obviously I want to get the big chunk of it fasted. Hopefully I set this to public. I'm 90% sure I did, but I don't see anyone in here yet. So hopefully that's the case. Wonder if there we go. There's somebody in here. Quick reminder though, if you guys will comment under the video, if you come in after, please click like as soon as you get in here. Also reminding you guys I got coaching slots open. So again, what are we doing? We're doing lots of cardio. I'm just going to use cardio to cut combined with a really clean diet. That's what I'm doing. I was doing really low fat for a bit and going with a little easier to digest carbs. I'm like, now let's just brown rice it up. I want to add healthy fats. And there's a point though, the reason I say that, I feel like my skin doesn't do well when I start getting fat deficiency. So I have psoriasis and severe psoriasis. One reason I shave off what hair I have left. It's one reason I keep the beard short. So stuff like that, I've noticed if I don't get enough healthy fats, my skin does get worse. I mean, it's just not worth it. So I added healthy fats back in a couple days ago. So essentially, what would I describe my diet like right now? Chicken, brown rice, avocado, broccoli. But we eat other stuff. I do oats, I do walnuts, a little peanut butter, all kinds of other stuff. I do a lot of fat-free dairy, Greek yogurt. I do fat-free Mootopia, which is like, Fairlife. I do fruit. Every time fruit's been going on sale, watermelons and stuff, I've been grabbing those. In fact, I might get some today. It's like they're going to be on sale. So that always works really well for me. Hit those watermelons hard. But yeah, so just really clean bro eating, built around starchy, higher fiber carbs, whole grains and things. Lots of vegetables, healthy fats, like avocado, walnuts, nuts, and then lean protein, which is for me basically chicken breast, right? Chicken breast, fat-free dairy, right? And just eating that way while doing intermittent fasting and just doing tons of cardio while getting my training optimized, keep the training dialed in and try to focus on making some gains while doing all of this, right? Focus on trying to make some gains. And that's, again, something we always need to be looking at. We should always be trying to gain muscle. Tell people don't cut too fast. Cut slow enough always that you can make progress, ideally. Some muscle growth. And I tell guys to lean bulk. But I need to get down leaner and just stay leaner, and then I'll be really taking the advice I normally advocate for myself and for clients 100% at that point. Because I always tell that to people. Like, well, you haven't gotten super lean and do the lean bulk. I'm like, true. I have clients who do though. That's kind of the point. But I do need to be doing that. And I think it would be great. That would be a good way for me to show that, yeah, it really can be done. Rather than me saying, hey, I got clients who do it. Hey, this is what research shows. I need to just do it myself, right? More practicing what we preach. But instead, I haven't cared about being that lean. It's just not a thing. Coach, second comment. Appreciate it, man. First like, first comment. Always appreciate it, Peppermint. So yeah, I need to just go ahead and get lean, real lean. And not necessarily contest, but I do need to get lean enough the low back tightens up, all the love handle gone, and we need to see a full six pack, right? Are you friends? No, we're not friends. Are we back, baby boy? What? Big and John hit that like, there we go. Tell them. Let me just show my triceps. I'm just doing my walk, dude. We're not flexing on camera right now. What? Show your triceps. How about not? You see me do a little posing and stuff every now and then in the training vlogs. I'm not doing that during my walking. I'm still a novice after years of diet issues. Well, Big, sounds like you need some coaching. Hit me up for a consultation, right? Hit me up for a consultation, Big. That's simple. Guys, I do consultations. If you need individual one-on-one help and you can't afford or don't want full coaching, I do consultation calls for individual programming, individual help with stuff. They're 1-hour calls. Hit me up on Facebook. You guys know how to reach me. How many calories do you burn today? I'm not even sure. I did like an hour and 10 minutes of brisk walking already, fasted. I'm now at my second cardio session. I haven't eaten breakfast yet, so I'm going to assume a decent number. You're never going to pin down your exact calorie burn, by the way, guys. All those devices are generally nonsense. All right? All right. Hey, Big, if you have anorexia, you need to go talk to a therapist. Do you train to failure? Some of my exercises sometimes. Not everything, but definitely some of it is done to failure. I get relatively close. Some lifts I'll get closer than others. I don't want to get super close on a squat or a deadlift. Generally, it buries you. But things like curls and stuff, yeah. So if you look at the training I did this week, a lot of it's 1 rep in reserve, but obviously stuff like curls, stuff like rear delts, I take that stuff to failure. Calves, I'm not going to squat and deadlift to failure. I took some of my sets of dips to failure sometimes, or weighted pull-ups, All right, guys, get those likes going. A bunch of comments, only 3 likes. Let's get this flowing. Come on, hit that like button for Daddy. Let's get this, see if we can get this chat better than the last one. The one this morning did okay, but I feel like we should be topping that. We're a better time slot. There'll be more people in here, more people available. Which is best, incline Smith machine or bench press for normal? I don't advocate this machine. I hate the Smith machine. I wish the Smith machine had never been invented, me personally. Well, we're better than this morning, right? Well, we were getting a few more views. Now it's trickled down. But let's get some fitness related topics going here, guys. No, I don't like any of the big multi-joint movements on a Smith machine because you're locked into a straight line, and I don't think that's ideal for your joints. It's not necessarily a natural angle for most stuff. It's not ideal. It's problematic on big barbell movements. And I'm not saying some machines are not good, but they need to be designed around a strength curve. So I think hammer strength machines are great, for example. Right? Some of the Nautilus machines are really good. But as far as Smith machines, no, I don't like that locked into a straight line bullshit. Hey, Big, is 1 pound a month enough for getting jacked? Hey, Big, by the way, I think I already know. All right. This morning we let ourselves down, got to do better. That's right. We guys got to hit that like button. Tell them Peppermint. Peppermint, keep giving some comments. That'll help do the same thing too. All right. Oh man, we trickled down to like no views. Man, low bar is a pain in the butt. Not really. You just have to learn how to do it. I know who that is exactly. I'm letting him run for a minute just because he's giving engagements, but we already know. And he outed himself as a true stalker already when I banned him last time. Come on, hit the like, guys. Actually, since we already know, we let him give a little bit. He gave us some engagements. I'll just get rid of him. Have to go make a new account now. All right. Bench press today. Going to try to do some training exercises. Nice. What exercise is the best for the long-headed tricep? Anything that puts the long head into a lengthened position. So anything with a pullover type effect, right? So any sort of deep pullover, going to hit the long head. Any sort of behind the head extension, definitely going to hit the long head. So if you do a laying extension with a pullover effect, that hits it super hard. Any form of barbell plate, dumbbell pullover is going to hit the long head super hard. We can make the same case for any sort of overhead extension. Just be aware that the long head is not particularly that involved with elbow extension. It really is about shoulder movement. It will get recruited some on elbow extension, but you're not going to 100% activate the head that way. Just biomechanics. All right, basic anatomy. Getting it done, Coach. Yes, Pokemon. We're getting it done. All right, we're getting it done fasted. Which exercise is best for the long? I just answered that, and it's not one exercise, it's what movement patterns. So you're asking the same question I already answered. I'm gonna ignore you now. All right, because now he's just spamming. But I'll take the comments. Yes, Pokemon, we're getting that cardio did. We'll probably get a fair amount today because I have good time management. I have nothing scheduled. I have no appointments of any type today. So all I have to do is do social media work. I got to write like one client sheet. So unless some people book some calls with me today, either client intake, some consultations, I got plenty of free time. So I'll end up definitely doing a third cardio session at some point. All right, we'll end up doing a third one at some point. So for your guys' enjoyment, we got a little chihuahua here. Let me get around him. They tend to bite. All right. Hello. Yeah. You got to know which breeds bite. We all know Chihuahuas are the worst biters. Skull crusher. No, a traditional skull crusher is not the best for the long head, like to the head, if you're doing it to your forehead. Now, a laying extension where you go into a pullover, absolutely. Is there a danger that I could become too tricep dominant on bench if I do a lot of, I mean, is that a bad thing? No, not really. So Peppermint, if anything, if you have really big triceps and your triceps don't get fatigued that much on your benching, you're more likely to get bigger pecs from benching. Why? Because the pec always becomes a limiting factor then. Thoughts on Rue B? I don't know who that is, sorry. Is this a singer? Is it a figure skater? Is this a bodybuilder? Work with me here. All right. I get you, coach, so that's a good thing. Right. You know, now, unless you mean your form, are you worried it'll get too tricep dominant? Well, quit close gripping. If you mean it on the form side, but not from a development side, no. So always think of it that way. If you bring up any secondary muscle that could become a weak link on a compound movement through other exercises, that means the other, whatever muscles are left, are going to get a larger training response. You know, make sense? Means you're just going to move more weight with the same force production off of the primary movers, which is always a good thing for them. Where's your fanny pack? No, I don't carry hydration. I hydrate between. Plus, I don't want to have to pee. I'm not trying to chug a bunch of stuff here. I'll get it afterwards. I'm not really sweating. It's not hot today. Man, these are the slowest views I've seen, though. That's weird. The one this morning did better than this. We're going to have to run this one out. This is normally a really good time slot. I thought I would have way more people. Yeah, it makes sense, Coach. Exactly, Peppermint. Exactly. So you don't worry about that stuff. It's really not a concern. And have you ever heard any strength athlete or powerlifter say, man, I'm worried my triceps are going to be too big. It's going to mess my bench press. Like, it doesn't happen. In fact, even aesthetically, I mean, is it really possible to have triceps that are too big? Like, if anything, having triceps that are too small, something a lot of us struggle with. Like, really, even the guys, like, too much bicep relative to your torso doesn't look always that good. But anytime you see a guy with massive triceps, even if the other stuff's lagging a little bit, right? Well, Pokemon, there are different time slots. So normally, actually, this slot's been really good. Like this sort of time of day, actually maybe about an hour later, is the most views I've ever had concurrent, like in the middle of a live before, actually. So no, I don't buy that. Yep. But I mean, realistically, I would say one muscle you can get away with overdeveloping without really ever hurting your physique would be triceps. It's almost like you almost can't do it. So yeah, just hammer away. It's bang for your benching. Like your bench is never going to suffer by having bigger, stronger triceps, right? Not even possible. This guy, Patrick says, chimpanzee bum knee. Okay. I don't know what bushmeat means. That doesn't mean anything where I live. All right. Do you prefer dumbbell lateral raises or cable laterals? Well, I don't have cable station. I don't think there's a significant difference in the stimulus. Honestly, whichever one you prefer, as long as you take the side delt to fatigue, is probably not going to matter. Right? So that's really a matter of personal preference. It'd be awesome if we got to hear females comment coach on a live stream. Oh gosh. Hey Pokemon, like, why do you care about it? Yeah, you sound kind of like a weirdo, honestly, dude. How long you been going? Just got done running. Lacey, this one's only 16 minutes, but I did an hour and 10 minutes earlier. This is my second one. So I'm doing minimum 2 hours a day right now to lean out. Squirrel soup, fries, pigeon wings. Yeah, no, I'll pass, dude. I don't eat fried food in general. What do you mean fried? Pigeon wings. What sort of nonsense are you promoting in here? Hey, does it clap? Curtis, does what clap? Does your mama clap? What are you talking about? There's a guy over in here talking about squirrel soup. No, dude, I don't want to eat squirrel soup. I don't even like squirrel. And we have them everywhere, all over the neighborhood. I've had squirrel, I don't care for it a whole lot. And I'm definitely not eating a pigeon. I've never been that hungry. I mean, I guess if I was hungry enough. Aren't the birds chirping a beautiful sound? Well, it's the reason I kind of like the outdoor. We get some fresh air. We got all the mockingbirds. Actually, we got all sorts of birds. Do you hear tennis shoes? I wear work boots. Steel toe work boots is what I walk in. Now you've seen it. Y'all happy? It adds a little bit of swing weight. You know, just like I train my calves for more swing weight. We burn through calories pretty easy. Get those locks up, by the way, guys. This is ridiculously low today. We're gonna have to walk super long just to get a decent engagement on this one. Yeah, I don't care for it, Lacey. I mean, and I'm not knocking other people's choice. I don't like game meat in general for the most part, unless it's certain animals. I like elk and I like antelope, and that's about it. I mean, dove's not bad. Okay, I'll take that back. I'll do dove and quail, right? We used to dove hunt a lot when I was a kid. Yeah, I think squirrel tastes anything like chicken. Neither does rabbit. I just don't care for them. I don't like venison either. Just it's personal preference. I hate alligator. I've eaten alligator one time. I gagged it. It's just nasty. I'm not doing it. Yeah, the sugar diet's insane. I need to make something. I need to just call them out on that. It's basically straight up con men pulling nonsense to make extra money. Mark Bell and Cole Robinson. And they're just hurting people with this. It's just stupid. It's just stupid. Why can't these people just eat balanced, healthy diets? You know? It isn't that difficult. They always have to promote the newest extreme fad to make money. And it really is. It's about money. Mark Bell has no trouble getting lean. He doesn't need a sugar diet. Cole Robinson made his living off pushing crazy, stupid, insane fad diets and then roping people into a little cult circle with it. That is his thing. So he can't even claim, oh, the sugar. It's like, dude, you pushed your whole snake diet. of an extreme keto diet, drinking salt water for years, and now you're going to go to a sugar diet. You're full of bull, man. Full of bull testosterone. What's this guy over here? Look at this guy. He thinks he's the boss. Quail is good. I've never noticed the difference between that and Cornish yet. Yeah, I can't tell them apart either, to be fair. Like, quail's pretty good. Dove's pretty good. I just don't like a lot of other game meats. I just don't care for them. I like elk. I like antelope. But like I said, I hate venison. It's just not my thing. Elk's delicious. Starting Go Mad today. Why are you starting Go Mad? You just trying to get fat? Now, I mean, some people can get away with they need the calories, but you got to have a pretty extreme calorie expenditure to do it without getting fat. Any life advice for 20s? Get your deadlift up. Focus on your fitness, focus on your career, and drop any hobbies that are soulless time sinks. No anime, video games, just get rid of all of it, right? You need to have hobbies that improve you mentally or spiritually. Focus on your fitness, focus on your career. Make money. No, I never really promoted Go Mad. Why are you going to accuse me of promoting it just because I messed with doing some of it when felt I needed the calorie intake? That's not promoting it. Like, I never said, hey, you guys should be doing Go Mad. I'm not Mark Ripito. People have different tastes. Some people say gamey flavor and wild meat, but yeah, it's that gamey taste is I can't handle gamey. Like, to me, gamey tastes kind of rotten, like if something is off. Ripto said if you want to get real, well, Mark Ripto wants to make you a type 2 diabetic like him. Like me, cilantro tastes like soap. It does taste a little bit like soap, but I kind of like it. Ripto says, yeah, I don't do sugar fasting, but I still put some sugar in my coffee in the morning. It's like the taste of a balanced diet. I mean, up to you. I'm not going to really promote refined sugars, but, you know, not the end of the world if you do a little bit in your coffee. Could be 10 times worse, you know. Yep. No, I mean, the original gallon of milk a day thing was done with the 20 rep squat program. That used to be the football protocol to bulk up for high school football, was the 20 rep breathing squats programs with a gallon of milk a day. Best way to get jacked? No, it's not necessarily the best. I have free novice programs too. Any basic barbell linear program will get you jacked as a novice. It'll get you through your new gains. You won't be jacked because you're still a novice. Humans do excellent eating fruit sugar. Well, because we convert it into glucose. Like, we do excellent on fruit sugar because it's just like a starch to us on the blood work side once it goes through our digestive system. But that's because it's in fruit. Like, if you extract the fruit sugar away from the fruit as a juice, it's not going to get the same effect. So it's fruit, not fruit sugar, that we're talking about. Do I eat a surplus here? Go Mad. These are very specific questions that I'm not going to get into. I've done whole countless videos on different strength standards to look jacked. You can dig through this stuff. Look at my dad bod strength standard. There you go. Look it up. So Pokemon, I'm going to go over to the point. Humans do excellent eating fruit, but not necessarily fruit sugar, because you could extrapolate that to drinking fruit juice with all the fiber filtered out, and it's not going to be the same. You're not going to thrive on that. So we need some context to this statement. Go, man, how strong you need to be jacked? I mean, I'd recommend 315, 405, 500, big three. Be able to do at least 10 pull-ups with that. What was the thing that flew by? I don't know. Probably a bird. Unless it was really far in the sky, then it was probably an airplane. Can I meet you and walk with you while you do walk cardio? You walk up on me as a stranger from the internet while I'm doing my cardio, I'm going to shoot you. Next, would that come with a lot of weight gain? Well, you're going to have to gain a lot of muscle. So, I've given an ample legal warning. You have no defense now. You have been warned adequately. I will consider you a threat stalker from the internet, and I will respond accordingly. Hey, Pokemon, you just crossed the line. I'm going to let you retract your statement, or I'm going to ban you. All right, I gave you a warning. Anyone can approach you. Yep. Feels like it's so rare that these people with these numbers aren't around like 20%. Well, you want to be jacked. You don't have to be 20%. So it's also rare to be jacked. So make up your mind. Pokemon. No, I gave him a warning and he didn't remove. So I don't know what part of people on the internet don't get this. No, if you're a crazy stalker from the internet and you're watching this stuff and you come find me to come try to stalk me, that's it, we're done. And yes, I will get away with it. I have such an enormous backlog of police reports over this stuff. I'm good. Okay. So, yeah, I'm just going to get rid of all the nonsense in here. Those numbers form, no, those are maxes. Go mad. Watch the videos. You're on my channel, man. I have whole entire videos on strength standards and what they represent in terms of jactitude. So type in just the word strength standard into my channel search engine. You will have enough content for hours. So, but you said you're a novice, so just build a base. You're not going to be jacked in the next year. It's not going to happen. So just start working, build your base up, put on lean gain, slowly gain muscle for the next few years. You know, that's why you can't get jacked on starting strength. It's a novice program. You can't get jacked in 1 year. It just doesn't happen. So it takes time. Building muscle takes time. So put in the work. Time is going to pass anyways. Be consistent. Right? Yeah, I don't think people understand some of those comments I make, Peppermint. I'm actually technically, those statements I am covering myself legally. And people completely are oblivious to that. Essentially, I'm removing any permission for people to stalk me. Because if I say otherwise, it literally gives people who are obsessed with me free reign to do things. So if I'm just very consistent with my answers, everyone literally knows, everybody knows what my official position is, right? So if I gain 1 pound a month for 3 years, I'll be like 170. Go back, that's perfectly fine, yeah. So gain a pound a month for 3 years. Just not being too fat goes a long way for health, absolutely. But Jason, he wants to be jacked in a year. You sure he doesn't have to do 3 times? Exactly. So I guess my advice to anyone who says, but I want to be jacked in 1 year. Well, you're gonna need to get real liberal with that syringe. You're gonna need to use higher doses of steroids, and I would advocate for safety for anybody if you want to get jacked in 1 year. So just accept that if you want to be jacked in 1 year, you're going to shave 20 years off your life for it. Okay. Or you could, spend 5 years getting jacked. But there's just limits to how fast muscle grows, guys. And it's pretty straightforward. You know? I mean, that's what Flex Wheeler did. Like, he admitted in interviews over 20 years ago, Flex Wheeler basically said, well, yeah, he realized he wanted to be a pro bodybuilder, so he sacrificed his health for it. He said, I was, like, whatever. He was not an adult. He was in high school. So he did his first cycle 2 weeks after he started working out, and he never looked back. Now, granted, he's lost a leg and a couple kidneys, but I guess that's the price for glory if you want to be super jacked as a bodybuilder. So yeah, guys, just this stuff takes time. It takes time, and you'll have to accept that. And for some reason, younger guys, they can't get this around their head. That's why these guys all get fat and they freak out when they get fat, because they're convinced that, oh, I can gain faster. I just need to bulk faster. Then they get fat. Then they get upset. Then they diet down and lose all their gains. Yeah, I really hate these short time frames, right? Everyone wants these short time frames. They think that they're going to get 5 years of results in 6 months. It's just not how it works. None of this stuff happens fast. All right? So people don't give themselves realistic time frames for anything. And they don't realize most of the people they're thinking of are lifers. Like, but this person over here, like, they'll be like, but this person's got great results. Like, it'll be an actual natural guy, right? And they're like, well, when did you start training? He's like, I got good genetics and I've been training for 17 years. Oh. Like, I know those guys who are the actual real genetic freaks in the natty world, but you start seeing them like, well, they got great results. And they're like, he's like, I missed a workout 8 years ago one time. What? I missed a meal accidentally 3 years ago. What do you think about the Eric Bugenhagen? He claims natty. We all know Eric was never natural as an influencer. Okay, just stop. Now, granted, he had the whole WWE thing and all that, so he had to say all that. But realistically, Eric has never been natural while in video. He just added more drugs later, like insulin and stuff to his steroids. I weigh way too much. What's the best way to lose weight? Calorie deficit. Increase your protein, eat a cleaner diet, be lifting, do some cardio. Done. Trying to gain too fast is just dumb. You have to be kind of meticulous. Yeah. Yep. It's the biggest mistake. These guys bulk too fast. And I'm not telling the skinnier guys not to gain weight. I tell them don't gain weight faster than they can gain muscle. And nobody's gaining 3 or 4 pounds of muscle per month. It doesn't happen. Just biologically is not going to happen, no matter how much you eat. So they get upset. I'd tell them gain a pound a month. But it'll take me 2 years. All of us who live serious are laughing. Oh, 2 years. Oh, man. Oh, my gosh. That's like the guy who's 15, his first year in high school, says, high school, this can take me 4 years. Yeah, that's kind of how it works. 4 whole years to finish high school. Oh my gosh. These children are hilarious. But they're children. I mean, it is what it is, guys. These guys are children. They're 21 years old. They're still emotionally children. They're not grown men. They don't think like adults yet, clearly. Especially in this generation, we coddle people too long and they don't become adults when they should in their mindsets either. Sam Lucas, stop all the drugs and still have the same audience. I don't get why. He probably could. No, if he came off all the drugs, Sam would lose 30 pounds of muscle in a year. So I don't know, he'd keep all the audience. He'd still have a massive audience and he'd still make a lot of money though, because he's already built the audience. Yeah, absolutely, Lacey. Enjoy the journey. Right? It really is. The Iron Game is a lifestyle. It's a way of life. It is a way of life. And you don't get anything fast, really. So enjoy the journey. Focus on being process oriented. And that's the key to success. What does every successful and rich person in the whole world tell you guys over and over? Like, go listen to every lecture you've ever gotten from any of these people. What do they tell you? Be process oriented, not outcome oriented. It means obsess with the process. Once you figure out what the goal is, figure out the process and obsess over that process 7 days a week, day in, day out. Enjoy the journey, live the journey, fall in love with the process. That's how you achieve success in almost anything. I don't care if it's getting rich, starting a business, getting fit, becoming a great artist, any skill, any endeavor. That's the same for almost everything. You have to be process oriented. You have to obsess over the process day to day and set the outcome further from your mind once you've set the goal. I guess I'm a casual lifter, maybe. I don't know. I mean, if you don't compete in anything, probably, but not necessarily. There are some hardcore people who don't compete, but it's for them, it is a way of life. It's a deep way of life. My own mindset changed over the course of my training. Yep, it has to. We have to mature in our mindset towards training. If we're going to play the long game and win, and we have to look at it that way. All the long timers really, like training, this is just a way of life. Fitness is a way of life. Training is a way of life. Bodybuilding, powerlifting, whatever it happens to be, whatever discipline you're pursuing, it's all a way of life. It's a lifestyle, right? That you live. Right? And you just learn to enjoy the journey along the way. I couldn't put that much effort into training. Man, it's more of a therapeutic thing for me. I'm far from as intense in the gym than I've ever been since I started. Yeah. Well, you don't always have to be super intense. You can be focused without being super intense, right? But yet here you are in my streams. But it's all good. And I'm not even hungry. Like my stomach's still kind of full. I got a bunch of fiber in my gut still from yesterday. That's the one thing with doing the really high fiber on the fasting. It's like you're never actually empty, right? I used to watch you back in Ice Cream Fitness days. Oh, okay, gotcha. So you were more hardcore back then, probably, and you've kind of mellowed with it, just doing your thing. And I feel like this one is just not picking up the views. The one before it this morning did better. I always feel like this time slot should do really well, but maybe not. My evening one will probably do okay. The evening one last night did more than the others. So I'll probably work in an evening bike session or an afternoon one at some point tonight. My best advice to new lifters: set their expectations on the effort they're willing to give. Right, and the new lifters, their idea of effort is not what our idea of effort is. But I'm training hard. They're running the rack on dumbbell curls. And I'm like, dude, you're doing dumbbell isolation work. That is never hard. That is not effort. And it doesn't even stimulate more growth to do those drop sets. You're not doing anything. They don't get, no, we mean effort. How hard are you willing to push a set of ass to grass squats? That's what we mean by effort. The stuff that's actually going to make you big. But I digress. You should be happy. I'm happy everybody's here, Lacey. Right? It's all good. I'm not even willing to get under the bar any squats or tour. Really? Oh, come on, Paul. Go get under squat bar. Quit pussing out, man. Lacey, tell him get under a squat bar. She squats. If Lacey can squat, you can squat. Right? Be fair, squats are pretty tough, honestly. Anyone who says squats aren't that hard, I love squats, like they're oftentimes not that strong yet. Then you ask, well, you know, what's your max squat? And they're like, you know, 335. I'm like, okay, that's why. Oh, squats are hard when you get strong. Exactly, Peppermint. That's exactly the point, and that's the big break point. Yeah, squats. Usually the people who are like, oh, I love squats. They're fun. It's almost always people with a 405 or less max. Once you get strong, it's not, squats are not fun anymore. Once you put 400 plus on your back, you find it's a different ball game, right? I mean, like you guys saw me, what was a few weeks back, I did whatever, 405 for 7 reps. I wouldn't describe that as fun, right? That's pretty good, Lacey, actually. Whole new forces come into play when you don't know about, yeah. Yep. That's why for me, I'm gonna do all my squatting super deep from now on and just build up from there. Like, I don't even want to power squat just a parallel anymore. It's just because it gets so heavy. Why the other day, I literally came in and did ass to grass pause squats, high bar with 315 for work sets. I'm like, oh, this is pleasant, right? Low bar for 7 reps, barely breaking parallel for 405. At 500, I felt that 500, like that 500 I did, that low bar that I put up like in January. Man, I felt that night. Like I went somewhere and hung out with some friends and I'm telling them, like, guys, I'm getting old. Actually, it was gals, I'm getting old. Chatting to a female friend. I'm getting old. I'm feeling that shit right now. That's bro still streaming. I'm streaming because this is what I do. We stream in because we stream. I'm doing all this cardio. That's an Olympic squat too, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna be doing just more deep. I don't know that I'm gonna keep doing the super narrow stance I'm doing. I might take it out to more of a power type stance, but I do want to just sink everything just deep and just use it to build muscle. That's on David Lade making, I'll run your program. Well, Flair, I mean, I've discussed that a few times. David Lade built his base on my OG program. So I think that's awesome, right? I mean, obviously he's got way above average genetics, you know, but he built his base on my program. So that tells you a lot about it. And it worked very well for him. So, yep. I've always been a smaller dude. I could deadlift 405 at one point, but I literally never squatted to 12. I've actually failed it every single time. Isaac, I could fix that. Isaac, this is why you sound like you need coaching. Hit me up. I got coaching slot open. Bro, if you've deadlifted 405 and we use self-structured, I promise you I can get you well past the 315 squat without you getting fat at all. All right. Flersis ran it back in 2006, packed on 75% of the gains I've had to this date. Still have pen and paper notes in my list. Great stuff, man. Yeah, there you go. I mean, that's a hard program, though. Like, the thing is with the ice cream fitness, could someone stick it out and grit? Because it's really, I intended it to be a super hard program. And if someone's not really dedicated, they're not going to stick that program out. They're not. But those who do, that's why it's going to have the high success rate, because it is maximal stimulus, and it kind of weeds out the non-hackers. So that's why so many people were like, oh, I made great gains. Because, yeah, only the people who are really willing to work would stick it out. So it kind of weeded out the weak mindset. So that's why so many people then, well, it works great. Because if you have that mindset, it's going to work really well. I enjoy squatting, but my max is about 365. Maybe that's why it's not. And that's the point we were making earlier. Yeah, usually guys with about a sub 405 squat are the ones who are like, oh, I enjoy squatting. Yeah, that's usually the case. Get to a 500, and then you come back and go, man, I don't really like squatting anymore. Yeah, the old pic of you standing next to the whiteboard is iconic, right? Yeah, I guess so. Takes a certain level of masochism when you're reaching 500 plus to still enjoy squats. That's a rare breed, and I'm just not one of them. Although I like to lie to myself. I need to lie to myself more instead of letting the bitch in me come out and just say that I love squats. In fact, that's what I need to say. I love squats. I love back. I love going ass to grass. I love limit sets. I love it. Makes my dick hard. All right. How's life? Have you been? How's the coaching? It could be better. I got coaching slots open though, Flair. Life's okay. Life is good. I just could use more business. But it is what it is. Focus on outreach though. We're getting a little better outreach on the Facebook again, so that'll probably be what I need in the meantime. I need to just get leaner too. That's why I'm doing the cardio. A lot of people keep saying I look like Johnny Sins. That's kind of funny. That's all good, man. That's not an insult, because it's not like it's when someone gives an insult to some like really fat person, they love to do that. That's an insult. But I get those. I get Johnny Sins, not really an insult. I'm not saying I'd want to be a porn star. I really wouldn't at this point in my life. Just, it would not be fulfilling. I'm not even trying to, add more notches to my bedpost at this point in my life, honestly. But I won't take that as an insult, by any means. All right. So we've hit 2 hours fasted. Now we've hit the 2 hour mark, roughly. I have to go back and count them all up from the 3 different streams this morning before this one. But I think we're there. In which case, I'm going to start heading back to the house. I feel like 2 hours fasted is sufficient. We shouldn't really be going over that. I can do the other fed. Comes a point where I'm like, yeah, we want to lose body fat, but we're not trying to lose muscle. I don't know who Lena Rhodes or Lily Phillips is, honestly, so I can't answer that. Like, I'll be honest with you, man. Let me be honest, Ben, and this is going to sound funny. I am at a point in my life, don't judge me, some of you guys are going to be like, what? I'm at a point in my life I would really rather not have sex with anybody who I am not in love with and in a monogamous relationship with. I'm at that point in my life. Is that fair? So, that's just where I'm at. All right. How to get out of a dark place in my life. Go to the gym, get jacked, get swole. Right? Get rid of any depressing hobbies you have. Get away from any depressing substances. Stay away from the alcohol. Get off the weed. Get off the video games. Get to the gym. Focus on positive things, building yourself up, clean your diet up. Focus on going out, meeting people, having new experiences. Pull yourself out of that dark place. What's your opinion on the relationship between red meat and cancer? I don't know that there's a direct relationship between non-processed red meat and cancer. You're talking processed red meats, there's an enormous relationship. Do you mean sausage, bacon? That's not even in question. How much do I bench? The most I benched this year, it's not as good as previous years. I did a 335 for a two count pause. Completely flat back, heels flat. I don't know, 5 or 6 weeks ago, right? But I've done 365 pause in previous years, wide grip, and I've also done it closed grip. I'm a little weaker and smaller now than then though at the moment. That's how God intended it to be. Monogamous society is built from a family. Fair point, Sean. Hey, Jack, you're welcome, man. But Jack, take that to heart, dude. That's how you pull yourself out of that dark place. But definitely get rid of all the soul-destroying hobbies and substances, man. You know? But get healthy, get fit, get in the gym, dude, get fit. That'll help. And my shadow band, yes, you are shadow banned. Shadow banned. Man, sounds like some South Park. Alabama, man. All right. Got Trey Parker over here. How to stop watching porn and jerking it. Yeah, dude, porn can be soul destroying too, especially once you're addicted. Porn addiction's a real thing. How to stop? Just, you got to quit it cold turkey, I would recommend. You know, you don't have to stop jerking it, dude. Just, you know, back off the porn, man. Use your imagination for a bit and see if that helps. Due to my girl leaving me, I have no purpose. Yeah, Jack, you can't have your whole purpose be your girlfriend. Hey, we've all had breakups, right? My last serious breakup ended really badly, and I kept it completely private. So, fortunately, the details are not known out there anywhere, but, you know, it happens, dude. You know, hoe's gonna hoe. Sorry, guys, I got to get past the lawnmower here. But, yeah. But, Jack, it is what it is. I'm almost home, man, so I'm going to have to wind this down, guys. We're past 2 hours fasted, so I probably should chill. But, Jack, take that advice to heart. Remember, there's plenty of fish in the sea. Go build yourself up into a better, stronger person. Find a better girl later. I love you guys. I'm out.